Hello, girls. 야, 책들 잘 읽고 있어? 자, we're almost done. We're almost done. I think we have only 1 week left. Now, I want to say something about these 5 steps, right? 5 steps to detox our brain. As you know, the book has part one and part two. And part two, we enter into part two this week. So you should have read chapters 11 and 12, which is step one and step two. Now, I wanted to make this short video because maybe those steps, oh, no. So practically, so what do I do in step one? What do I do in step two? Might not be too clear. I've read this book a couple of years ago. And so I know the last chapter has a very good, easy summary of the five steps. But until then, until you get there, each chapter gives more neurological explanation about what happens in your brain while you're going through these 5 steps. Those hippocampus, amygdala, and all of that. And some of you might get lost, or some of you might get frustrated with, she does repeat a lot of statements from part one of the book. So anyway, I wanted to just give you this brief explanation about 5 steps, and hopefully as you finish the book, I think chapters 13, 14, 15 this week, okay, it might make more sense to you, hopefully. So 5 steps to detox your brain. Number one is gather. But gather what? Gather awareness. Okay, I'm just going to mention it now and then go through that a little bit more later. And the second is focused reflection. Third, you write about your thoughts and you revisit that. You revisit what you write. And the last one is active reach. All right. So those are the 5 steps. So number one, gather awareness. Okay, so here you are. Okay, it's paying attention to what's going on in you. Okay, in your mind and in your body. For example, if you're feeling anxious in your body, okay, or in your mind, okay, anyway, you feel anxious because you're feeling that there are some thoughts that's coming into your mind, and maybe your heart is like pounding and restless. You're feeling it, right? So those are signals. Okay, chapter 11 talks about that. Okay, and so in step one, you don't want to ignore what you're feeling. Okay, so you want to take a pause and gather this awareness. It's simple. Simple as, something is happening in my heart, my mind. It's simply being aware of them, because it's gather awareness. Pay attention. Number two is focused reflection. Okay, here you hone into the thoughts and feelings that are happening in you, and ask questions such as like, why am I feeling this way? Okay, you don't want to just avoid it. Okay, you don't want to just ignore. You want to think about this question: why? What's going on? Why am I feeling upset? Why am I feeling paranoid or whatever? So this is actually a deliberate, directed thinking. Okay, step three, you write. Okay, then you capture what you have analyzed in the second step, like you're thinking, right? You're asking your question, and so you want to write it in a journal. And as you will read it in this week, the author, she recommends you writing your journal in a creative way. Okay, drawing diagram to go along with your thoughts. She calls this metacognition. But it's the same as mind map, something like this. I don't know if you guys have ever written notes like that. Sometimes I write prayers like this. Okay, or any other way, any other interactive note taking, it would be good. So this is how I usually take notes. Okay, this is not my brain detox journal. This is just how I normally take notes from books I read. Anyway, so you got to do interactive journaling. Okay, so in step two, you think about it, and step three, you want to write about it. And as you write one thing, that's going to lead you to some other deeper issue. And the deeper issue, the goal is to get to the root. 4 is revisit. Okay, in this stage, what you do is you evaluate what you have written down. Okay, and then work out the healthy new thought you want to build. Okay, I feel worried about whatever, money or children or whatever. If you're having fear or worry. In this case, you want to think about it and just replace it with healthy new thought. My new thought will be, and then you write it down. The last one is active reach. So if steps 1 through 4 was to weaken the toxic thoughts, step 5 is actually destroying them. Okay, so in step 5, you don't just make a decision to forgive, but you actually forgive. Okay, or it's not just making the decision not to worry about your children, but actually stop worrying. Okay, so that's active reach. But anyway, I just wanted to give you the overview of the 5 steps. But you'll be reading more in details in each chapter this week. So I want to show you an example of how to do this, okay, with my personal experience. Now, I've never done 21 day of detoxing my brain through these 5 steps like this. Not that doesn't mean I've never detoxed my brain. Okay, this is not the only way, and this is kind of sort of like what we already do, right? When you journal before the Lord and you bring out your issues and your pains, and you talk to God, and we do this in one way or another. So this is not the only way, and we're some of us are already doing this, but not completely. But anyway, so I did have some kind of issue that I can use. Okay, I didn't do this 5 steps, but I can use to explain to you. Okay, so number 1 is gather awareness. That is to identify your toxic thoughts. Okay, you get all these signals, and so my example is feeling 기분 나빠 at this person. So I noticed every time I heard this person's name or thought about her or saw her in the prayer room, I didn't feel positive, and actually 기분이 나빠. 기분 나빠. So that is the first step. You notice signals. Okay, second is focused reflection. Now, usually when there is an issue, I like to forget about it. I like to ignore it at the moment. I don't want to think about it. Okay, it's 골치 아파. 기분 나빠. 소화도 안 되고. And sometimes I don't know what to do, right? So, sometimes when we have a tension with our husbands, we get into that mode. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with it at least that moment, okay? So I procrastinate sometimes. So I didn't deal with it for a few months, but then God brought it to my mind, okay? So I had to do the focused reflection and ask myself the question. So, I give it a thought. Why am I feeling this way? So that will be the second step. Third is write, okay? Now, where's a picture? Right, okay. Well, since I wasn't, going through this 5 steps, I wasn't working on like steps to detoxing my brain, so I didn't write anything. But, writing helps you to discover like underlying issues easily. So I'm sure because you've probably done this many times when you write journal and talk to God, and God brings things in your heart. So that's the process, same process. So the issue is that one day she came and talked to me about this person that we both know, and she was telling me how this person has a problem and how this person needs deliverance. And I mean, this friend of mine, she's prophetic. Yeah, she's prophetic, but sometimes she uses too much. I think I feel like so. Anyway, basically, she didn't have a good thing to say about this other man that we both know, but that's not how I saw him. He was a godly man. So I told her, "How do you know? Do you have an evidence?" She didn't, but she said, "I feel." So she brought out that prophetic card. So, basically, prophetically, she feels something is wrong with this person, and I know some people have that kind of power, but I know she didn't. And so I said, "You don't know that." Then she said that I need to be more discerning, and I thought she was very immature and judging, and not loving. Okay, and anyway, 다 끝나고 when she left, 정말 이상하게 기분이 나빠. 나빠. 자기는 prophetic하고 나는 아니라는 식으로 얘기하니까 anyway 기분이 who's gonna feel good. But then that doesn't mean that I was super upset either. 그냥 기분이 anyway, feel like I stepped on a poo or something. Anyway, so that would be the writing step. So you will be writing, okay? Revisit. Okay, so in this step, you evaluate what you have written and build a new healthy thought. So in my case, I came to think, Well, actually, what she thinks of me, her opinion about me, is not important. She's just one person in this whole universe, and she has no power over me. And my feelings don't have to be impacted by, her opinion or her immaturity. So why feel bad? I don't have to feel bad. Let her have it. Let her think what she wants. It's okay. But um, when I say let her think what she wants, I didn't mean like, who cares what she thinks? Like, she could think, well, all she wants, I don't care. It wasn't that. There was grace in my heart. And I actually did not mind. Okay. So it's the Lord. Okay. So it was okay with me. Her opinion doesn't really matter because I know my heart. So I changed my thoughts. So that will be revisiting. And the last step is active reach. So in my case, I pray to God first and I said, Lord, I bless her and her family. Bless her so much, and I will embrace her with love. And Lord, what do you want me to do for her? What do you want me to do to her? I will do whatever you want me to do to her. Whatever she asks, I will let her have it. It's really from the bottom of my heart, because before I make everything right with her, I just want my heart to be right with you first, God. So after the prayer, I texted her. By the way, she doesn't know that I was feeling this at all, because, I didn't confront her. Okay. But, and then so I said, hey, let's go out for breakfast, my treat. Okay. That didn't happen yet because she's not here in the town. But, when she does come back, then, I will take her out and then work on our relationship, our friendship better. So this is just an example of how you would go through 5 steps to detoxing your brain. Okay, hopefully this helped you guys. Okay, bye.